So, where do we go from here?
Where
do they go from here? Do you go zoom out, macro, and you start thinking about what this team is going to look like next year, and do you start playing guys with that idea of you're thinking 5 steps ahead, or do you zoom in really tight and say, nope, we're just going to focus on a game. That's all we can do. Focus on a single game.
They're 3-7 on the season. 3-7. When you're 3-7 on the season in most divisions in the National Football League, it's time for you to change your perspective in how you're going to approach games and evaluating players and trying to determine who's going to be here 2 years from now, who's going to be on this football team 3 years from now, who's part of the problem and who's part of the solution.
I heard you say that this morning, and that's what made me think of that. I mean, isn't that what 3-7 teams typically do?
Except if you're in the NFC West. Again, think about this. It sounds crazy, but the Arizona Cardinals are 2 games back with 6 games to go. The Seattle Seahawks are capable of losing every game they play, and I don't mean that as a beatdown on them. I mean that as an indicator as to how good I think they are. You cannot give up on this division yet and change your lens, change your perspective.
This division is still very winnable, and they still could, but there hasn't been one thing about the way they have played this year to indicate to me they are capable of taking advantage of that, and that's why I have a hard time believing that at 3-7 they're still relevant in this division. I have a hard time buying that.
I am not disagreeing with you at all. They really haven't. You've lost 5 games in a row right now. It doesn't happen to good teams. They just don't go on these 5-game slides.
If they were to lose at home to the San Francisco 49ers with the mess that they've had at quarterback, with their roster, with their coach, with that organization in general, to lose at home in a nationally televised game to them would feel catastrophic. It wouldn't be, but it would feel catastrophic.
Yeah, I would say the only thing more catastrophic than losing at home on Monday night to the 49ers would be wearing a suit at ESPN right now and seeing 2 3-7 teams on Monday night. That might be the only thing more catastrophic. Can you imagine?
That's not good.
That wasn't bad, the sound effect there, Dave.
Yeah, I appreciate that. All right. Well, I think I'm going to take my Wolfley's wings. And I'm gonna
Wolfley's wings.
Wolfley's wings. Is that what they're technically called?
That's what they are. The autograph wing. Yes, thank you. Let me just say this.
Oh, here it comes.
To the Basinonians that are out here. Happy Thanksgiving.
Yes.
From your Uncle Ron.
And your cousin Dave.